All right, ESPN did the biggest 2020 NFL offseason missed opportunities, and the Lions and Packers topped the list. Packers on receiver, that's obvious, and the Lions still need pass rushers according to ESPN. You can find that on ESPN.com, and they go pretty much through everybody and what players available in free agency to help them accomplish that feat. Right now, the first one is New England didn't accomplish a quarterback, which that's depends where you're sitting at. They could be looking to get Lawrence next year in tank, or they could really believe in Jordan Stidham, somebody I like for the Lions draft a couple years ago. And they say Cam Newton remains an option in free agency. Them and Cam had talks, but nothing really materialized. But hey, we back. Motor City Sports Talk. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Appreciate the love, support, man. Sorry for the air conditioning going in the back. It's a little bit hot in the D today, man. So appreciate y'all. So let's talk about what they say, and I'm gonna give my synopsis on what they're saying. They said in 2019, the Lions allowed the league worst 284.4 passing yards per game while producing just 29 sacks. That's a problem for a team that played man coverage 65.9% of the opponent's drop back, the second most in the NFL. Maybe adding outside linebacker Dante Fowler Jr. was unlikely to happen in free agency given the multi-year deal he signed with Atlanta. However, could Detroit have landed Vic Beasley Jr. or Leonard Floyd, each a former top 10 pick? Both signed one-year deals. And what about Jadeveon Clowney, the veteran, is still available? Yes, I understand it's a two-way street here with pass rushers and coverage. You need both to win, and the Lions did add two cornerbacks with man cover traits, Jeff Okudah and Desmond Trufant after Darius Slay. But without a consistent pass rush, especially considering the defensive scheme in Detroit, I still have concerns about the Lions' ability to create pressure up front. Matt Bowen, NFL analyst, they said Jadeveon Clowney remains unsigned for the Lions to patch that up. Clowney's entire free agency is a missed opportunity. He's a player with some elite traits who has left money on the table by entering the summer without a deal. Sure, Clowney health complicates matter. He can undergo a team's imposing physical to show he has healed from a core muscle in surgery, but at least three teams, Titans, Seahawks, and Browns, have offered him a short-term contract that he refuses to take. Free agents who wait this long rarely gets paid big dollars because teams either have already spent heavily in March or are busy trying to sign their own stars. Maybe the problem is Clowney wasn't as good as some thought, and the market spoke to it. He never had a double-digit sack season, but the talent is obvious, and this should have been handled by now. Jimmy Fowler, national NFL writer. Okay, so yes, the pass rushing was a problem for the Lions. I deem that more schematic than personnel. Okay, I'm gonna say that, but I do think personnel is an issue. I mean, they got the kid from Chicago to help out. I think he had 6.5 sacks last year. They bring in Julio Cora, Jamie Collins can help a little bit there, and also they got an internal upgrade by getting Deshaun Hen healthy. You know, but the amount of money you paid Trey Flowers last year, he was supposed to be a one-man wrecking team, but it's hard to do that when you don't have assistance nowhere else. They said that they also cut Devin Kennard, and he's tied with a team lead with 7 sacks. But I just think it's just schematics. You know, I just think Matt Patricia just love to play man and rush 3 or 4 and play coverage in the back half, in the back end, and that's just not going to cut the cake. Okay? That's just not going to cut the cake. I think this is more schematic than team. If you're going to play man coverage, you got to send the dogs, more often than not. Zone can allow you to, sit back and rush 3 or 4, but with the way these mobile quarterbacks and even some of the non-mobile quarterbacks that's just mobile with the pocket and with their eyes, the way they manipulate the pocket, man, you can pretty much, look off zones and fit the ball in there. So, like I said, man, I would love to know what the blitz rate for the Lions was last year. I'm pretty sure that had to be, in the bottom half of the league. But you got to send people. You got linebackers that can get after it. Collins, he can get after it. Davis can rush. He can get after it. So, it's just from the simple point. I don't think it's just the personnel. And should they need a Myles Garrett or Jadeveon Clowney, somebody like that, Khalil Mack, Von Miller off the edge, would it help? Yeah. But then again, you got to send them help. You got to twist. You got to stunt. You gotta scheme. You gotta confuse the front, who coming, who going. And with the Lions, it's not a confusion. It's just a bend don't break defense. It's a beta male defense. Matt Patricia's defensive scheme doesn't match his personality. All that nastiness, rah, even with the pencil in his head trying to be boy genius or boy rocket scientist, it screams bland. It screams vanilla. It screams basic. It's a really, really basic bitch defense. Straight up and down. I wish as the most tenacity and the most ferociousness he showed with his faces and yelling, I wish his defense matched his personality, and it don't. It don't. You pay Trey Flowers all this money, and you bottom half of the league, or damn near at the bottom in sacks. Get him some damn help, and they don't even have to be as former players. Send an extra, send a 5, send 4, twist, load up on one side and drop out and bring an extra guy on the other side, or get creative. It just shows you that, being a rocket scientist and being a football rocket scientist is two different things. Or being a high football guy. You could be the stupidest dude in the world, but you can understand football. And it just don't seem that Patricia can understand, but do we still have concerns about the pass rushers? I mean, Danny Shelton's not going, he more of a run blocker. Deshaun Hand is going to give you an upgrade. You hope Okora can give you some help. People hoping on Antonio Brown for Clemson. I don't get the hype around him. Nick Williams from Chicago, he can help. But who going to help out the most is Matt Patricia finding ways to get pressure and being creative and getting pressure and sending more than three guys. Sending 4, sending 5. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to jam and play man coverage, hey, dude, let me get some help. Instead of me covering 4 or 5 Mississippi, if you send a blitz, 3 or 4 Mississippi. But ESPN still feel they got a problem. I feel a lot of Lions fans still that's the problem. And that ain't even the beginning of the problems. Before you can rush the passer, you at least got to be able to stop the run. And the Lions haven't been able to stop the run. And some of the talks you hear from Damon Harrison, they don't know how to teach how to stop the run. It's a disconnect between the players and the coaches. The coaches are trying to tell them how to take on blockers and how to play their gaps, and the players don't understand. So it don't seem like they got the right teachers in place to teach. And if you can find that article about Snacks Harrison, you can find that it's out there, some podcast or something. It's out there. He said they did not know how to teach how run defense. So if you can't defend the run and you can't rush the passer, all this is schematic. All this is scheme. All this is teaching. And with all his players, every player on his defense is his guy that he handpicked or he helped draft other than Davis. Or he gave a contract extension to. And if this year there's a disconnect and they still can't stop the run, they still can't rush the passer, and they don't play good defense, like I said before, he's just not the guy for the job. Because these are his guys. And that's what people banking on for the Detroit Lions to have a good chance to make the playoffs and win the playoff game, is that now that he don't have the bad apples, the Quadrates, the Glovers, the Darius Slays, now he got guys to fit his scheme, maybe they'll be able to buy in to what he's doing. And they'll be able to articulate it on the field. But what he's selling, even if you buy it, I don't think it's gonna work. From last year, he got to make a change. But I think they pass rushing issues is more to do with personnel. Scheme got to be they got to fix the scheme. And people saying, "Oh, what about Utlin coming from the Eagles? He's a figurehead. This is Patricia's defense." Same thing I said for Pasqualoni. He's a figurehead. It ain't got nothing to do with Pasqualoni or Utlin. This got everything to do with Patricia, and he had a beta male defense in New England. People want aggressiveness. We want to get after. We want to get sacks and cause turnovers. And when you play bend don't break, games like Kansas City might be close, but in the end you still lose. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter if you need to reach out. Twitter's the fastest way. Then Facebook, IG, I'm really on there. Don't forget you can make a donation, Cash App, PayPal. Best way to donate is share the video. But yeah, man, if you need to reach out, man, I try to keep my lines open. Been a little bit busy late. People ask about the podcast. The link's in the description. I'm going to get some people on there, Piston Lions, and start doing some collab for the podcast. Appreciate it. Make sure you check my other channel out, Goodfellas Sports TV, for more sports, music, news, and entertainment. Right here on YouTube, Goodfellas Sports TV. Y'all know what the business is. Mercy Sports Talk, one time for the one time. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Share the video. We gone.